afternoon, or morning, whenever you are watching this. Welcome back to the Suit Up Geek Fix channel. My name is Lo from California. We have Amanda from Toronto?
Wow. Yes.
Toronto, right?
Yes.
No, I should have confirmed. I almost said something completely different, but we have Amanda from Toronto and Dibes from Philly. We are the Suit Up Geek Fix geeks, and we are waiting for one more geek who should be in anytime shortly, hopefully, fingers crossed. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe down below. This is episode 4 of the Suit Up Geek Fix Roundup, where we round up the latest in film and TV news as we see fit. We've got quite a few fun things to talk about today, so without further ado, I'm glad you guys catch that. Let's get started. So, first up on the slate, you guys, I was so excited to see this. I was a huge fan of Denis Villeneuve's epic Dune, which was nominated for countless Oscars. It was such a fun experience in the cinema. Christopher Walken, the great acting legend, is set to play the Emperor in Dune Part 2. Anybody that knows who Christopher Walken is, he is just an iconic legend of cinema. Let me throw this down to Dibes. I know you liked Dune, if I remember correctly. What do you think about this casting, and how excited are you for the sequel?
I've got a fever, and the only prescription is more spice, baby. Come on, man. Like, how are you not excited
That's what I'm talking about.
Walken to be in Dune 2? Like, I was really excited to hear this news. No question. It's a great casting. No question. But, like, I might be in the minority here, but I'm a little upset they announced this. Like, this would have been a really fun, like, reveal during the film. Like, could you imagine you're watching this and Christopher Walken walks out as the Emperor? Like, I feel like that would have been way more exciting. But obviously, it's a 10 out of 10 casting. I'm really interested to see this take on that character, for sure. So it's good. But I would have preferred it to, like, kind of like be one of those surprise cameos that you did not see coming.
Oh man, I would have lost my shit in the theater. Like, I probably audibly would have been like, "Oh my god!" Or that also would have been cool in the trailer, maybe as a trailer guest reveal. That would have been kind of cool. What do you think about the casting, Amanda? Do you like Christopher Walken?
I like him, but I think that people have mimicked his voice so much that I can't see him as like another character other than himself. I feel like I don't know what it is. Like Dibes just tried to do it too. So it's like he's so iconic in that way. I don't even know what the last film was that he did. He's been MIA for a bit.
Yeah,
so,
he's been quiet for a while.
Yeah, so I'm like excited to see him. I think that if he can like not use his typical voice and like add the character for the Emperor, I think it could be really, really awesome. So yeah, I'm excited for him.
Excellent. Yeah, I loved the first film. The whole cast was great. Javier Bardem, Momoa, Zendaya, even though she was in the film for like 5 minutes. Timothy Chalamet. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see this follow-up. So as we truck along here, next up, due to a leak on Disney Plus's UK website, She-Hulk looks set to premiere on August 17th of this year. A lot of buzz has been surrounding this series. Disney Plus has more or less been rather successful, at least in the internet discourse. Whether people hate or love the shows, everyone's watching them, from Moon Knight to Falcon and the Winter Soldier to Loki to WandaVision, of course, which arguably was the best of the Marvel series so far. Amanda, what do you think about this news? Are you excited for She-Hulk?
Oh, I'm so excited for She-Hulk. If you guys haven't watched Orphan Black with Tatiana Maslany, please watch it because her acting chops are like unreal. She played like 6 or 7 different clones on that show. Like, she's fantastic. So She-Hulk, I'm so excited for her. I think the placement's good too, because it's like right after Love and Thunder, and then I feel like it's a dead time for Marvel. Like, I don't think there's anything else coming after that other than Black Panther 2, I think, would be the next one. So I think it's a good gap and to close off the summer. So I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited to see what she brings to the table. I've heard nothing but great things about her acting chops. I'm also excited to see the return of, I guess we're going to get Bruce Banner, of course. That's obviously how we're going to introduce this new Hulk character. And of course, Tim Roth as Abomination. We got Abomination in Shang-Chi, but we didn't get Tim Roth. So Tim Roth's one of my favorite actors. I can't wait to see him back. Dibes, how about you, man? This was a leak, unfortunately, but this is good news to know it's coming soon.
Yeah, it probably should be like a week or two after Miss Marvel ends, I believe, if my math is right. So that timing is right on. I'm not as excited for She-Hulk. I've never been. That being said, I've never seen Orphan Black, not one episode. So I don't know how she plays into this. I've read, and I don't know how accurate it is, but I've read they're going for a more kind of lighter tone, a more like comedy type of feel. Like, I don't know if you heard that, Amanda, but like, is she able to kind of play that role? Like, I've heard like a modern like sitcom vibe related to like The Office or Malcolm in the Middle or Friends. Like, that's kind of like maybe some fourth wall breaking kind of vibes with this show. Like, does that interest you? I think it's definitely interesting to see if it's gonna work. But that doesn't have me super excited. What about you?
Wait, where did you hear that from?
I'm nervous, to be honest, if they're gonna do that, because it's I think it's like the same as WandaVision. It's like 9 episodes and it's 30 minutes. I think they're doing the half hour, obviously like sitcom structure. I think she has the chops to do it because she did like do some comedic stuff on Orphan Black that tied into it, so she can do it. I don't know about the writing though, because like, you know me about like the Marvel humor, it has to fit the character. So I hope that they don't like do the typical humor and not like focus on who she is. But yeah, like, I'm worried about that structure for this, considering we've been getting 6 1 hour and then we switch to this. Like, why is this different? Why is this special to switch it? So
my first thought with this show is like, what's the setup and what are the cameos? You look at the other series here on Disney Plus. Is it Hawkeye and Kingpin and Yelena, which those two absolutely crushed it. Yoki, oh my god, Loki and Kang. Falcon and Winter Soldier and what's the villain? Super Squad. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm drawing a blank. But like, that's kind of been the premise of pretty much every show that we've seen on Disney Plus. Could it be Matt Murdock? Could we see Matt Murdock get his kind of reveal here to build into other projects? Could it be Jessica Jones? See her move forward. Like, where does Red Hulk fit into all of this? It's probably, rest in peace, William Hurt. That one sucks. But yeah, I'm interested to see kind of where this goes. Marvel has been, giving us these like experimental projects to, and kind of really just throwing darts on a dartboard to see which ones hit and which ones hasn't. And, they've been going super dark lately. They've like, whether it's Falcon and Winter Soldier and they're hitting like political messages and, WandaVision and all that. It's been pretty dark, some really adult heavy themes. I expect Miss Marvel and She-Hulk to kind of be lighter in tone. So all that said, this might be a show for Gabe.
I love the reference. Shouts out to Tony Peonitis. He's our resident grump, but a friend of the show and a friend of ours. Mrs. Crockpot is in the house. Hello, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Our awesome favorite commenter, Tyler's in the house. He says he's ready to simp for She-Hulk.
Yes.
I'll have to wait till the show comes out, but we'll see. I also got to catch up on Orphan Black as well. So guys, while we were discussing possibilities of the show, I was actually looking up who's behind it. So Kat Coiro is the director of the first couple episodes, I think, and she did Marry Me as recently as with Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson. So maybe that's where that's going. That kind of comedy vibe. That was more of a rom-com, but we'll see. I have nothing against it until I see it. Also Jessica Gao. She wrote Silicon Valley, a show that I'm not familiar with, but she's the head writer of this series.
Yeah, I have friends that are really high on that show. I've never seen that, but I know I've been recommended to watch that show many times because it's hilarious.
It's good stuff.
And fun fact, she's an executive producer on Rick and Morty. So it's like, so who knows? Who knows what direction this show goes? It's kind of exciting.
I mean, I'm on record. Like, I enjoy the adult themes, like tragedy and loss and trauma and all that kind of stuff. I really dig those vibes with Marvel. I've said it on this show so many times. Like that's when Marvel is just sprinting, you know, and they're crushing it. Maybe because it's so different than like phase 1, phase 2 kind of stuff. But I'm not going to like talk down on a project like this because it's trying something different. I'm always down for something different. Let's see how it works.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's 1000% my stance. I love different. I think it's gonna get stale unless MCU switches it up a little bit. So anything they can throw at us that's different from what we've seen before, I love it. So,
but isn't that the like Hulk costume from Endgame?
Oh no, trust me, I think this is a fan made photo. I was just throwing in an image of.
I don't know. I don't know. Like where does this take place? Is it like I honestly don't know.
I don't even know what timeline we're in right now. Like seriously, I have no idea when any of them take place. It's always 5 years after the blip, but like when?
And also to be fair, like seeing Hulk at the end of Shang-Chi, I more or less have a grasp of what time that is, but still in relevance to Eternals and No Way Home, I don't know when all this is happening at the same time or not. So
no clue. And yeah, it just doesn't. We need clarification.
The best guess would probably be it takes place in between that time where Hulk kind of transfers from like, you know, all that emotion with Infinity War and then Endgame where he's like smart Hulk, right? Yeah. And what happens in between there would probably be a pretty good bet. I don't know.
I think that's a good prelude for this show. I don't know if that's the direction they're gonna go, but I mean, we can't introduce another Hulk without seeing what the hell Mark Ruffalo's been up to, right? So
I don't know. I think that would piss off a lot of people, though. I think that would piss off, like, especially with Moon Knight and how, like, you know, set standalone it was. If they give us another show that's literally like Black Widow that doesn't really have implications to the rest of the MCU moving forward, that might kind of tick people off a little bit.
My main worry is that if we do get Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk in this show, I just don't want him to overpower her. Because then, like, I would have rather not have a She-Hulk show and just have her pop up in a movie with the Hulk and just do something with the Hulk if that's the way you're going to make her relevant. Like, that's what I don't want. Because she can hold a show on her own. She did. So I just don't want it to be overstuffed with cameos, as you said, Dibes. Like, there's so many possibilities, especially because she's a lawyer. So, yeah, that's my main worry, is that it's going to be overstuffed like Hawkeye, because he's not really a strong character and they don't know her. But the success of Moon Knight, not having any cameos whatsoever, like, that's like a bit more hopeful for me because that did well. So we'll see, depending on how much the Hulk is in this, because I don't want him in that too much.
I fully agree with that. Like, as great as Hailey Steinfeld was as Hawkeye, like, all we talked about was Kingpin. All we talked about was Yelena. Like, that was by far the highlight of the show. Like, if they put in Matt Murdock and give us like some sort of origin story of Matt Murdock, that's all I'm going to be focused on. Like, no offense to She-Hulk. That's just my vibe right now. Like, I would hate to see Matt Daredevil take over this show, which we've seen. Like, that's kind of what these shows are, is kind of like, that's how they get you hooked. Like, they presented that Kingpin first scene. Remember when he puts his hand on, was it Echo, I think? Or no, yeah. I'm not sure. And like, that was like, oh my gosh, it's Kingpin. Like, will we get kind of that same kind of buy-in with Matt Murdock, like episode 1 and 2, just to kind of keep you around? I don't know.
You know what's funny? I was actually going to say Hawkeye was a good reference for me, because I thought that the balance between Clint and Kate Bishop was actually pretty even. So I think to introduce her, I think if we get a little bit more of Jennifer Walters versus Bruce Banner, that's fine with me. But I thought that the balance between Kate Bishop and Clint was actually pretty decent in terms of the storytelling. So before we move on, I actually want to shout out Streamer, thestreamer.com. They were the ones to drop this tidbit of information first before most outlets. So I want to shout out Streamer. Moving right on, funny story, guys. So the last time we had this show, which was about 2 weeks ago, literally the day after I announced Justin Lin stepped down, the very next day they tapped Louis Leterrier, famous for The Transporter and The Incredible Hulk. Speaking of the Hulk, he replaces Justin Lin on Fast X. I don't know if you guys remember from a couple weeks ago, I had a lot of things to say about this, and no offense to Vin Diesel, who I think is a good actor. I don't know if he's getting kind of like maniac right now, or just losing himself with his control of the film. But I got bad vibes from this. I got bad vibes from the get. I got bad vibes from him filming a video with Justin and then Justin leaving a couple days later. I don't know what's happening with this movie. But at the same time, though, just to comment on the news here, I think Louis Leterrier is a safe pick. He's not one of my favorite directors, but going back to The Transporter, it shows he can frame car chases and really good action really well. So I think fans of the franchise who just want to see the action, I think they're in good hands. I'll throw this down the Dibes. You're one of our fast guys on our last few fast panels on the saga. What do you think about this?
Yeah, it pains me to say I'm not excited at all. I'll be honest, like everything about this screams it's a quick hire, it's a cheap yes man. They're doing exactly what Vin Diesel wants them to do. I don't like it. I don't like this is a beloved franchise. I love this franchise to death. I will give the director props, like the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. I don't know if you guys saw that on Netflix. Terrific. That was a great series. The Transporter movies are pretty solid, but everything about this is just truly sad, man. It's like this franchise just seems to be crashing and burning. I still can't get over Justin Lin leaving this film. This is a dude that saved the franchise, turned it into this monumental financial giant that it is today, and I just can't help but feel like the series, the franchise should have ended after Fast 7. It was literally just, it was a layup. It was done so well, and to be honest, like I haven't felt the same since Paul Walker and Dwayne Johnson haven't been in this franchise. That's just me personally. They just lost everything, writing wise, excitement wise. They'll continue. Like I expect the new director to give us like a couple 1 shots, 2 shots, like fun action moments in the show, but like it's just a boring franchise now. They should have scrapped it after Fast 7 and maybe like not necessarily get rid of the name, but kind of do something new because it ended on such a high. That's probably the wrong word to say it, given everything that went down. But like for example, like Dom naming his son Brian after his so-called friend is still living in the show, like in the series, like that always felt weird. I never got it. Like as much as I love this franchise, dude, Vin Diesel looks like he's absolutely losing it. I don't believe him whatsoever on that last video you guys sent me where it looks so fake, man. It just looks so fake. And I'm not gonna lie, like my excitement level for the final films here is just dead. It's just sad.
You know, I share a lot of your similar sentiments, Dibes, especially after Fast 7, which really, really was a heartfelt, emotional, like, wallop of an ending. Not to say Paul Walker was, like, the greatest actor ever, but in a lot of ways, he was the heart of this franchise. And nothing against F. Gary Gray, nothing against Charlize Theron, but even, like, the second Fate of the Furious came out, I was like, I don't feel good about this. So, Amanda, what are your thoughts about this franchise? And what do you think about Louis Leterrier?
You guys both took like the words out of my mouth. I'm not a big Fast fan, like whatsoever. And I even thought that they should have ended after 7. Because I agree that even though I've watched the movies here and there, that like Paul Walker was the heart of it. So you take him out of it, right? It just doesn't feel the same. So I don't know, like Vin Diesel, I feel like he's just so obsessed with this franchise, and rightfully so. It's been his life for like so long, but you have to know when to kind of like pull the plug on it. Like, sure, you're making this money, that's great, but like, what are you adding to your legacy in this case? Like now it's like you just care about the profit you're making instead of the actual story you're telling. Because if you're gonna bring in so and so's brother, you're gonna bring in like other people that just doesn't make sense to the story moving forward, then like what are you doing it for? Like, cool, there's car chases and explosions. I can get that in any other franchise or action movie that comes out. The thing that made it different was the whole thing of like familia. The whole thing is not in this franchise. So
Yeah.
when it doesn't feel like a family, what are you doing? So I can't really speak on Leterrier because I haven't seen his stuff, but like from what you guys say, it's gonna be the safe pick. I'm not excited for this. I'll probably go watch it because fun, sure, why not? But like I gave Fast 9 half a star, so that's how I'm setting it. So like I don't know what you guys want.
Hey, ditto, Amanda. That's my lowest rated film from that year. I just tore it apart in my review. I said the franchise ran out of gas. Pun intended.
Well, hopefully Charlize Theron can get a different haircut than the Jonathan Taylor Thomas one that she's got going on in this photo. Like Home Improvement was from the 90s, yo. Like you're way more attractive. You deserve way better than that. Come on.
Oh man, I you know it's funny. I never talk about that, but yes, her hair was god awful.
It's terrible.
Looks like Nicole's excited for it, so you know that's fine. I'm sure some people will dig it.
Yeah.
Tyler says it looks like Vin Diesel's holding the entire cast hostage in all of his videos from the set. So if you guys haven't, just look that up, and it's just really uncomfortable to watch.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing or what he's saying to people, but it just makes me uncomfortable.
It literally looks like we have to put this content out just to show that Dwayne Johnson, that like everything's good, Dwayne. See what you're missing here? Like that's how it feels. Like it feels like Vin is like literally drunk and saying like we got to meet this quota just to show that everything is okay, and it's clearly not.
Right. So I think we've exhausted that enough. I'm not terribly excited for Fast X at all, but you know we'll see what happens when the trailer eventually comes. They're about 4 weeks into filming now, so
Lord help us all.
Right. This was an interesting bit of news. Dan Stevens, who played the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Dan Stevens was also in Downtown Abbey and Legion, the Marvel show.
Yeah.
He's starring in Godzilla vs. Kong 2. And no offense to all the kaiju lovers and all the Godzilla stans, and I'm Team Monkey, but look, I did not like Godzilla vs. Kong, y'all. I wished I watched it at home on HBO Max. I had a miserable time. I'm not excited for this. How do you feel, Amanda? And do you like Dan Stevens as an actor? I think he's great, but he can't save
He's awesome. No, nothing can save this. It's a sequel to like a sequel. Like it doesn't make any sense at this point. Like, what are you calling it? Is it going to be Godzilla versus Kong? Like, are you not going to call it anything else at this point? Like, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to battle again. Like, is Kong going to win this time? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. But like Monkey, yay. But Dan Stevens is so great. If you guys haven't watched Eurovision on Netflix, oh my God. I think he was Russian. I think it was in a Russian accent. He stole the entire movie. So please go watch that. He's great. He deserves more love. I think he needs a better agent in that case. But like Eurovision, top notch. Go watch it if you haven't.
Yeah, you know, Eurovision's awesome. That was one of my favorite underrated comedies from that year. But also, if you guys haven't seen Legion, it's an FX show that I think it got canceled. I don't remember, but it was amazing. It had Aubrey Plaza in it. He was the son of Professor X, if people don't know who he was. That was a really cool show in my opinion. But Dibes, what do you think about Dan Stevens? And did you like Godzilla vs. Kong? I didn't care for it, but
I loved it. I was all good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was exactly what I was hoping for. The monsters, like give us the monsters, and then that was exactly like what it did. Like that was the failure of the previous film, where it's like it was too much like this family and that family and drama. Like no, just get off the screen, stop talking, just give me punches and fire breath and giant pickaxes or whatever the hell that was. Like I want all of that. And I thought Godzilla versus Kong was really fun. And I got to say, I'm really happy that I'm Team Godzilla, and it was a good time. But for me, Dan Stevens is extremely underrated. This is one of the first times I'll ever agree with Manda. The Guest is a terrific film. He's so good in that. That's a really underrated film. Really underrated actor. I did not know that until the show, so I'm excited. I'm all in with this casting.
Awesome. Well, at least somebody's excited. Like I said, I was in the theater for Godzilla vs. Kong, and I rolled my eyes so many times. I just felt like they wasted Isaac Gonzalez, and Ken Watanabe was my favorite character. And then, no spoilers, but he didn't get much to do. Minus a scene that I was like, of course that happened. But anyways, Tyler, I'm sorry for putting this terrible picture up of Dan Stevens. Please don't cancel me. And moving on to our last bit of news for the day. Avatar, The Way of Water. The trailer premiered before Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness screenings. I don't know if you guys have seen Doctor Strange out there. Check it out. And if you guys do check it out, you'll see this awesome trailer that we will debut for you guys if you haven't seen it yet. So whenever you're ready, Dabs. OMG, guys. James Horner. He is such a genius. I love that score.
So good.
And whether people a lot of people love or hate the first film, but look, I think with what's gonna happen for the next 3 or 4 films, I think if the narrative hits, which I trust James Cameron, I just hope they get away from the first narrative and they just give us something fresh. But visually, I think it took over a decade to get it right. But God, the visuals are amazing. Dives, I know you're a big fan of Avatar, man. How hyped were you when you saw this in the theater?
Oh, in the theater? Oh my gosh. So let's just talk about how old I feel after watching this teaser. It feels like it came out an eternity ago. This was the first film my wife and I saw together. This is the first film.
Oh wow, first movie date?
I literally asked Nicole to be my girlfriend during this film. In the car, after the film, in the car, I was like, hey. And now we have a 2-year-old daughter, 10 years later. Or should I say, it's been 84 years. That's how long it's felt. But there's really, truly no better love story than James Cameron and a massive fucking body of water, man. The guy literally just turns out, I think he's like a ocean water lover first, director.
Yeah, he's
second.
Huge on it. Yep.
That's what he does, man. I give him respect for it. But the double down on the family themes in this trailer has me really excited. I thought you nailed it, Loretto. Like my first vibe here, not the visuals, the score. Quick shout out to James Horner, who died a handful of years ago in a plane crash, man. Horner's score for Avatar is legit one of my favorite film scores of all time, man. And you've got a newbie here, Simon Franklin, taking on that challenge. He's worked with a lot of big names throughout the years, so we'll see if he can. Those are some big shoes to fill for sure. But I'm really excited. I never understood the hate Avatar got. in by some people. Yeah, the plot, yeah, the story, yeah, the writing is a little non-original. But for what this film is, for me personally, I go to the movies for just to turn off the brain, escapism, and just to be sucked into a world. That's always been my favorite thing about film. And Avatar crushed that 11 out of 10. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited, man. I'm interested to see what the box office does here, because everyone knows what the money did with the first one. It just blew everything away. James Cameron always does that. But it's been so long, and I'm just curious, like, how receptive the people are with this film. It looks really good. Like I said, give us the way of, like, the earth, give us the way of fire, give us the way of the wind, and then let's just get a fucking Last Airbender film and just do a multiverse. Let's do it.
And Tyler says, give him more of the blue people. He's on board. And for me,
Yeah.
I really appreciate the grandness of this teaser, especially in theaters. I saw it in Dolby Cinema. My seat was shaking, and I was just in awe of the visuals I got. What about you, Mando? Did this teaser pique your interest at all? I can't remember if you were a fan of the first film.
So I was a fan of the first film. I'll never forget. I dragged my parents to the screening. I was like 8 years old, I think. I think that's how I just remember being really young watching. It was like an 11 a.m. showing, and that's when 3D was starting. So obviously James Cameron, like it's just incredible visuals. But for me, watching it in theaters, Avatar, and then watching it at home on the big screen are two different things. So I think for me, when I watched it back again at home, it didn't hit the same. And I think that's why, like, the longevity of the first one just didn't really connect with me afterwards. But watching this teaser, I'm like, that's why I loved it in theaters. That's why this movie's great. And that's why James Cameron's great. So you have to watch on the biggest screen possible. And I think that they even polished the visuals even more. Like, it looks so clear. And, like, it's just ridiculous. And I'm so excited that they're going to go into a different, I want to say realm, but like a different grouping of a tribe, I guess, in that particular.
I think it's Pandora, like on the other side of the world or something. Like it's like a different part of Pandora.
Okay, so then exactly. So if they can tap into those different worlds, like, holy shit, they have a massive franchise on their hands. So I'm really excited for this. I really am.
I don't know if you guys caught some of like the HD GIFs that people have been posting, but there's one where Jake's hand is like gripping the saddle or whatever, and there's like water on his hand, and it's like, it looks so real. It's mind blowing. And yeah, I mean, I just want to echo all those statements. I saw this in the theaters 3 times. No 3D film has ever looked this good, especially because he films in 3D. All the other films that came after were converted. It's a medium that's, when done right, it's truly a feast for the eyes. And I'm actually super stoked for this, so I can't wait. December is gonna be a treat for me personally. And before we get out of here today, guys,
real quick, talk about like 2 different franchises, both about families. Avatar is going up this way, and Fast and Furious is going this way. Sorry, Ben.
Hey, I
can't wait for the sequel of what's this called? Avatar 3. It'll be Fast and Furious Pandora Drift. It'll be fun.
I also remembered what I wanted to say a second ago. This was such a running joke. Like, oh my god, Avatar is never coming out. But now that the teaser's here, it's like a shot in the arm. It's like James Cameron's like, hold my beer. Like, you guys are not ready for this.
Oh, so that's the question. So, like, James Cameron clearly goes into this thing and, like, doesn't he always, like, I could be wrong about this completely, but doesn't he always try to, like, revolutionize, like, film? Like, what is the separation here for it? Because we all know, like, he made these, I think, up to 5 back to back. So we're going to get a lot of Avatars every year for the foreseeable future. Is it just strictly visuals, or is there something else? Is there something I'm missing?
I think it's a little bit of both. Especially, I mean, minus The Abyss, which wasn't a huge box office success. I mean, look at Aliens, right? I mean, Aliens just doubled down on the scale of seeing all these xenomorphs attacking Sigourney Weaver and the big queen, and then you get Terminator 2, which just was mind-blowing in 1991. No one's ever seen that kind of computer imagery. And then you fast forward to Titanic, which, hate it or love it, Titanic was a spectacle. It was an epic blockbuster that we haven't seen since, like, you know, Lawrence of Arabia and Ben-Hur and stuff like that. Like, Titanic was just a grand picture with the costumes and the special effects of the boat and the sinking. And again, then you fast forward to Avatar. I feel like James Cameron does have a vision. And Dives, I think he does have something for us. I think this teaser was just a snippet of it.
Interesting.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be good. Hopefully.
So if you guys aren't familiar, we just recently had a fantasy draft. I want to thank all of the awesome participants. You can see it on this channel, the greatest fantasy film draft. I want to thank my teammates down below. You guys are awesome. Dives, I'm sorry that you didn't quite make it to the final here, but your boy got in. I'm pretty happy, and the championship is going on right now. Forgive the ugly visuals. I threw this together in 5 minutes, but look, I got the Two Towers, Jumanji, the original Aladdin animated film, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Princess Mononoke. I'm going up against The Mummy, It's a Wonderful Life, Mary Poppins, and Fellowship of the Ring. It's a pretty tight matchup. I haven't seen it recently because I've been on this stream, of course, but Amanda, who you got? Are you did you vote for me? It's okay if you didn't.
I did. I did
Yay!
vote for you. Yeah, I did. Dives, I'm sorry.
Dives is so salty.
Dives.
Just for context, Dives, literally the entire Suit Up Geeks crew voted against him for whatever reason. I did it for strategic purposes, but Dives, I love you. You're my brother from another, man. I didn't mean any harm. I just didn't want to face you in the championship.
Yeah, real quick. The team feeling fine. Congratulations. Your team is absolutely stacked. And congratulations to Loretto, man. Long time coming, man. I hope you get this W for sure. But out of 169 fucking votes, you lose by 1 vote. And all 3 of you voted against me. It's too soon. I'm not ready to talk about this, Loretto. I'm out.
Love you, man. Hey, but look, before we completely get out of here, Amanda's got to get going really quickly. So thank you for joining us, Amanda. You are so wonderful. You got anything new you want to plug?
I have Top Gun Maverick tomorrow night, so
Let me know how it is.
I will for sure. I'm really excited.
I was not ready to go see that in the theater, and I've just heard so many good things. Because I saw Dune like on HBO Max. It was not the same. It was not. If this is like worth seeing it on the big screen, I will. Let me know. Yeah,
I'll definitely let you know. So that's tomorrow. My review will be up probably Tuesday. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Amanda.
Yeah, of course. I'll see you guys
and
soon.
Shout out to Matt down below. We're kind of wrapping up here, man, but good to see you. Let's see what's on tap. Tomorrow we have the Clone Wars versus the Rebels on this channel. That's gonna be a fun discussion. We have our guests Christian and Matt is actually gonna be on that stream, so I can't wait to talk about that tomorrow. This Friday we will do a Stranger Things versus Cobra Kai versus. That's gonna be such a fun discussion. So stay tuned on this channel. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Check out our Twitter at the Suit Up Geeks, where you can vote on that bracket of teams you just saw, or bracket matchup of teams. Follow us on IG as well at the Suit Up Geeks. And for Dives and myself, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us as always. We'll catch you guys next time.